So Tara, the invite that's on the calendar that I sent is the correct Zoom information versus the email. Is that correct?
Correct.
That is correct.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna resend that one, okay? Give me a second.
Good idea.
please.
So that was sent, Sylvette?
Yes, so I just sent it to the whole group.
I got it already.
There it is.
You guys get it?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it, okay.
Yeah, I saw it.
All right.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi, I'm on now. Does the meeting be started?
No, we're waiting till
Waiting.
we're running up on. We had a little technical difficulty with the invite in the calendar being slightly different from the invite in the email. So Sylvette resent.
Yeah, that's the problem I had. It came up that there was a meeting at 11 and that I couldn't get on because of that, so.
Yep.
Okay.
We do have.
Well, this should be a fast one, so appreciate
Right.
if you'd be giving us a couple extra minutes here up front.
Nope, no problem.
There's Frank.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
No, it's not. We're having some little technical issues here. I think
Okay.
we're one short of a quorum, correct, Sylvette?
No, actually, we have a quorum.
Matt, this is Brian. I'm with you.
Oh, hey Brian, how you doing?
Yeah,
Welcome.
Good.
yep, we have a quorum.
We do have one.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's just go ahead and get started then, and if anybody rolls in last minute, we'll add them in. So I think Sylvette is going to mute us here so that we can have a pledge of allegiance. And I'll go ahead, Tom or Darren, you're going to lead us in that.
Yep, we'll go ahead and lead the pledge. So we can start with Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so that if you can unmute.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. Sylvette, I guess we'll go ahead and ask you to conduct a roll call.
Certainly, sir. Brian Dames,
I'm here.
Chuck Dicon, Mike Dowd,
You probably need to unmute everybody.
Actually, they will have to unmute themselves. I will not be able to unmute them.
Got that, everyone? Mike, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Here. Here.
All right, thank you. Frank Facciano,
Present.
Glenn Geisinger,
Present.
John Hayes,
Here.
Ron Heckman, Larry Hemberger, Jeff Matskin.
I know Jeff
Yeah,
was on.
he was on.
I think he was just on his cell phone, so he maybe didn't unmute.
Okay. Glenn
Muted
Reed.
at the moment.
Oh, there he is.
All right, thank you. Glenn Reedman, Ted Rosenberger, Mike Stershik,
Here.
Matt Turk,
Here.
Chris Worley, Tara Zirinsky.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there any public comment for the board?
We do not, sir. We did not receive anything for public comment.
Okay. All right. We have a single action item. We had not initially intended to hold the December board meeting, but there is a minor item that requires board approval, which Darren, I believe, is going to walk us through. Correct, Darren?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Take it from there.
All right, thanks, Matt. So, yeah, unfortunately, had planned on closing on our two Rockefeller, the final two properties for Rockefeller this month. Ran into a couple of hopefully minor snags that are causing us to extend these agreements a little while longer. So just to walk through the sort of three things that are holding us up right now. So when our deed of release was issued for Lot 5A, FAA at that point pointed out that they needed to review the easement that we're also granting as part of that closing. So they had it, they did not indicate to us prior to this, so we were sort of caught off guard, but we have had some conversations with them about it. They're gonna do a review. We're trying to see how quickly we can get that done, but they did tell us it could take up to 90 days, so we're hoping that we'll be able to shorten that, but that's sort of the outside date that it will take them to review this and approve a change in use for that property. We don't expect it to be any issue or any reason that we would not get that approval, but we have to work through the process. The second piece on there, when we had originally received the deed of release for Lot 6, which is in East Allen Township, that was issued on November 13th of 2017 and gave us 3 years to complete all transactions. So we completed 2 of the closings in that release. This last one on the East Allen piece, obviously we have not closed on yet. So we have had a conversation with FAA. We actually got some good news from them late on Friday saying that it looks like, we just have to submit a formal request to them, which Ryan has actually already drafted. So we'll hopefully have that out to FAA today, and they should approve that extension. So that doesn't seem like that's going to be an issue at this point in time. And then the third thing was just on the Rockefeller side. I think this is really more of a, probably a COVID issue than anything. They have not been able to record their subdivision yet for East Allen. They did get the approval, but just getting signatures and everything from the township to record it, they run into a few snags. So all of those things hopefully can be addressed relatively quickly. We are looking to extend these out till March 17th, just to make sure that hopefully, I don't even want to say that we won't have to come back here again for another extension, because I think I've said that now 6 times, but the plan will be not to have to come back for another extension, so we should hopefully close prior to March 17th.
Is this timed around, sorry, I'm jumping in quickly, but are we looking at the board meeting date for March? Just to prevent us from having, in the unlikely event that we have to do this again, can't we just extend this to allow us to get through the next board meeting or the March board meeting?
So that was what we originally talked to Rockefeller about. They're actually, and I think this is kind of an internal thing for them, optics wise, they're planning to have shovels in the ground as like March 17th. That was sort of their construction plan. So they don't want to extend any later than that. So we should know certainly by our February board meeting if we're not going to be closing in March, so we won't have to do this again as far as close a special meeting. So if we have not obtained all these things by February, we'll be asking for an extension at that point in time. But and we can certainly close sooner than March 17th as well. This isn't going to be a set closing date. I believe the way the agreements are written, it says March 17th or at an earlier date as agreed to by the parties. So Rockefeller's still ready to close as long as they get their subdivision recorded, and we're certainly ready to close as soon as we get FAA's approval. So,
Okay.
so with that, certainly entertain any other questions.
Any questions for Darren? I'd ask then for a motion to authorize our executive director to execute the fourth amendments to both Lot 5A and 6A agreement sale with Rockefeller. pending
So moved.
I'll
Thank
second.
you, Jeff. Tara, I'm going to give you the second. Any additional discussion? If not, I'd then ask for a vote to, all in favor of authorizing Tom to do so, please say yes.
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 Opposed. All right, Tom, you're authorized to execute these amendments pending review by our solicitor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I believe that is the only action item that we have here. Tom, you do or do not have a brief report for the board?
Just a few brief items, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, go ahead.
All right, so November passenger traffic was released, showing down about 57% from last November. And November air cargo, however, was up about 5%. So year to date, we're about a little over 17% increase in our air cargo volume. Since our last meeting, you might have been through the terminal. You'll see our holiday festival of trees, a little smaller this year, but all of those were decorated by 5 different charities the Airport Authority has worked with on some prior events. We appreciate that partnership. On December 12th, we delivered 50 gift boxes to the ARC of Lehigh and Northampton counties with a number of different sensory items and holiday treats that were donated by our airport advertisers in lieu of our annual North Pole flight. And so we really appreciated the opportunity to do something with the ARC this year a little different. On December 17th, the Airport Authority received the Overall Marketing Program, or MARCOM Award, for our Fly Safe with ABE program from the Airports Council International. It's a great award, and we're really excited. We want to say congrats to Megan, Krista, and the entire team. So,
Absolutely.
great job. Let's see, December 16th through the 17th, Winter Storm Gale, even though it's not winter yet, except for today, dropped 11.5 inches of snow at LVIA. I wanted to thank our maintenance and operations teams and all of our staff who worked around the clock to keep our facilities open and operational during the fall winter storm. So
Is that why Todd looks so glum?
yes. So on December 17th, in the midst of cleaning up that storm, it didn't deter United from starting their daily service to Washington Dulles. So we're excited to have that back. Certainly great service to have in the pandemic. We're excited to see it. Last night, as most of everyone is aware, lawmakers did reach an agreement on a $500 billion COVID relief package. And after some back and forth this weekend, working with Colin and government affairs groups, airports benefits, I think, were in and out at some points, but it does include $2 billion for airports and airport concessionaires. So there will be some funding in there for airports coming from this package is what we're hearing, but we don't know the details yet. And I think lastly, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to thank the board, the staff, everyone helping the organization navigate a really challenging year this year. Really look forward to a great 2021 and wish everybody a happy and healthy holiday season. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Tom. And I'd just say, I'd echo that sentiment back to the staff, including you and the team that you've led through probably the worst year on record in pick your environment. It's just been terrible. And you guys, particularly on the finance side, have done a very impressive job of getting us through this when some other places around the country haven't been so lucky. So just I'm going to clap and just say applause and thank you guys for the job that you've done. It's been really fantastic.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And thanks to the board again for bearing with us through all this. We had our little shot at seeing each other for a couple meetings for for the executive committee at least, I'm really looking forward to us getting together in person at some point as soon as we can get Dowd vaccinated. But
Yep. Yeah. Take care of the old guys. Right?
that's right. So, anybody have any questions for Tom? Nope, great. Judge, do you have anything to report from the solicitor?
I'd like to request a very brief executive session to report on a litigation matter.
Okay,
This won't take long.
great, understood.
So moved.
If nobody has any new business, then I'd jump right into asking for a motion to enter executive session.
So moved.
Second,
And we got a second from somebody there, Stershik, I think. So as soon as Colin or somebody gives us a thumbs